King Drew.
I have to bring that one in a little earlier, man. I was hitting that.
You lit it like
Yes, I'm Slate.
Come on, man.
Yeah. What's going on, fellas, man? Welcome back to another episode of the First and Foremost podcast. Y'all already know what it is. We not only give you the spill, we keep it real. We got some breaking news to talk about on the pod in just a second. But I want to ask y'all, fellas, how y'all feeling on this fine Tuesday night?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
good. Great, man. Been pumping out all this content, man. We all been pumping content. Ready to talk some football, man. I miss some football. I miss some real padded football. But hey, we in 7-7 season, so you know it's always still some football.
7 on 7, 7 on 7 on 7.
No doubt. And then obviously, y'all, we out on a hot topic. We got to get how Bacon feels, obviously, about Kentucky. We're not going to talk about the whole spiel. We'll talk about it a little later on 3-Man Week.
We can talk about that right now, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know now, man. Yeah, y'all can find me in Fayetteville, man. Telling you, man. My coach up and move. I can catch me in Fayetteville. What do they say? Pig suey, chop suey. We on all that right now.
Hey, bro. I had to check on you, man. And you didn't say that for a while. I was scared, bro.
I had to get myself together, bro. I had to really think. I didn't want to come on there and say nothing emotional, nothing irrational. I had to sit back and say, you know what? You got to follow the drinking gourd, and I'm following Coach Calipari to Arkansas, man. Stuff like that.
So you're trading in your blue for the crimson red.
Trading in my blue for that crimson red, and I ain't talking about that roll tide. I may not buy no paraphernalia, but you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely gonna be rooting for him. Definitely gonna be up on all the news. You know, Coach Calipari is a good coach, man. So we're gonna talk about a little more of that later. But I had to go ahead and let y'all know, man, where I was at.
That's where Bacon stands. So let's go ahead and get it started, Jerome. Let's get the first and foremost, man. I'm starting with you, Jerome. What's your first and foremost tonight?
First and foremost, I don't even know if we talked about it last week. I don't even know if I can't remember. My days are all mixed up. But we had a huge trade go on in the NFL world with Stephon Diggs going to the Texans. I think this is an incredible move. Obviously, we had two inside the hashes wide receivers already over there. Tank Dell and Nico Collins, two guys that we got to interview. Really cool guys. I'm super excited about both of them having their success. Obviously, Nico Collins being a Michigan guy. Now having Stephon Diggs there, and you have CJ Stroud, and you got what's the running back?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, yes.
They're stacked. I want to know what you guys thought about that real quick before we
hop on. I think I like the move. I like the move for Diggs, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna go out there, you know what I'm saying, do his thing. They're gonna be real explosive. I like the move. Obviously, he wasn't happy in Buffalo, so you know what I'm saying. Hey, get with the times.
I think it puts a lot of pressure on CJ Stroud. Not that he's not ready, but he balled without Diggs last year, and now this puts them to another level. And I think Houston is saying we're not messing around. We're here to go attack it, and we are trying to contend for a Super Bowl on a rookie deal of CJ Stroud, which is very, very important. Y'all know how that money situation goes.
Not for quarterbacks, though.
Can't keep everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, what you say?
They paying quarterbacks. They paying quarterbacks. Everybody else got money.
That's what that you bring me to my next point. So they obviously gonna pay CJ, but then that kind of leaves you in a dilemma what Cincinnati's going through right now. Who you gonna keep? Are you gonna keep a Tank Dell, or you gonna re-extend a Stephon Diggs, or you gonna lack in the defensive area? So I think it brings up that dilemma for them. But I think it's a great move. They're right in the Super Bowl conversation. A lot of people have Kansas City, Baltimore, then Houston. But my only thing I got to say real quick on Diggs, are you okay with not getting that 7 to 8 target ratio? Are you okay with the wealth being spread around? He's already left 2 places where he wasn't happy anymore. He's going to have to be okay with not always getting the touches. He can still perform at a high level. I still think he's an elite receiver. Some people don't even have him in the top 10. I still think he's a top 10 receiver. But are you okay with that, with the potential that this team can make a Super Bowl, but you're not going to always get your way, always get the targets you want?
6. He's 6. None less than 6. He's elite. You got to feed him the ball. He can't be having no 3 or 4 targets a game.
No doubt. But what if he has a couple like that? We've seen what A.J. Brown been doing to Philly. I know you can relate to this, Jerome, but you got a receiver next to you in Devontae Smith. Are you okay with that if that means your team go to Super Bowl? He's going to have to live with that reality.
Yeah. Two quick things. I forgot to mention Dalton Schultz.
Yep.
He's a talent, so we can't forget about him too. And then 2, he is technically on a 1-year deal. Like they nullified his 2nd year, so if it doesn't work out well, then you can just get rid of him and don't worry about it, So I just wanted to add that in there. But what's your first and foremost?
Go ahead, Bacon. I got a big one. Breaking news.
First and foremost, okay. I'll be quick. First and foremost, man, it's no secret by now, man. I just switching up the vibe. J. Cole apologizes to Kendrick on his Dreamville Fest. If you don't know the Dreamville Fest, he's from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Dreamville is his label, and he always does an annual concert at home. He came out and apologized to Kendrick about the beef. If you've been tuned in, I'm a music head, so I'm very tapped into that. So maybe we'll dibble and dab in that a little later. But that's my biggest first and foremost. I'm a big Cole fan. I should wear my shirt today. I got the dog father on, but that is big.
But before we continue, do you think that move was weak? Let's just start there and then we'll talk about it later. Do you think the move was weak for him apologizing?
I'm not gonna say if it was weak or not. I'm gonna say that when we get down to the artist and person that Cole is, it doesn't surprise me. Proud as the Devil is a prime example. I'm saying who he is, love yours. So I look at it like this, right? So you'd rather be a warrior in the gardener than be a gardener in a war. And I feel like Cole is that personification. He's a warrior in the garden, being the arts, wordsmith, his connection, where he is as a man. So we're just gonna leave it like that, man. So that's I rock with it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it more later. My first and foremost, let me share the screen real quick. Hey, man, we got to react, man. I think this is some big news. He revealed it about 40 minutes ago.
All right.
But let me go ahead and share this screen. I got to get y'all boys' reaction on this. I did have a different first and foremost, but here it is right here from TJ Wilcox, formerly of, obviously, Collins Hill. He says, I want to thank all of my coaches that played a pivotal role during my time at Collins Hill. Thank you to every teacher, admin, entire football community for your support. I look forward to my next chapter at Buford High School, senior season loaded. I need y'all, before I react, I need y'all reaction. What's y'all reaction to that?
That's tough.
I'm just saying this too, and I'm like, wow.
I like that.
This is gonna be interesting to see how that goes, man. I was wondering about Buford this year. I was wondering if they was gonna be able to, withstand all of the times that they lost. Obviously, the biggest one was their the quarterback going to Nebraska this year. But yeah, man, I was wondering what they was gonna do at the position. I knew they had a couple of guys that they was kind of having TJ going to Buford
from Collins Hill, right?
Yep.
Yeah, makes you want to look at it now. You want to look at Buford again and like, hey, we might have another offseason that we're talking about Buford a lot more again. So interesting.
Go ahead, Bacon.
I like it. Was Collins Hill a real contender this year with him staying? Probably not. I think they're still a little young, but they may surprise me. I know they got Deuce Gerald, a couple talented DBs, a couple weapons on offense, if I'm not mistaken. But everybody wants to go up and smoke and run with the Wolves, man. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. Definitely makes things a lot more interesting. And 6A, not 7A now. So hey, man, if you got the opportunity to play with the stars, rise amongst the stars, and be great and be unforgettable.
I think for me, the I'm trying to think how I can word this to say it. The pressure's on. I think pressure's on for him going to Buford. Buford is one of the powerhouses here in Georgia. So a lot of eyes are going to be on him. And I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but I still think Buford is going to be still trying to get talent at the QB position. That's just a team. We seen it last year. We seen how good Christian Langford was. He had to sit, right? They went and got Dylan Raiola to come in from obviously Arizona. So I don't think they're done off the QB market. I think they'll still try to probably get another guy to come. Obviously, that team's loaded with talent. Jordan Allen is a top receiver in the country, let alone the state. And obviously they're gonna have weapons galore. Justin Baker commit to Tennessee. And then they're gonna have Hayden Bradley, who's a guy that's blew up in recruiting that tight end. Not a lot of people know about him probably here in the state, but y'all go check him. I interviewed him. He's gonna be a big weapon offensively for them. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see what Buford decides to do. Are they gonna roll with Will Coster? They're gonna bring in more talent to compete with him and then eventually decide who their quarterback's gonna be. As you mentioned, Bacon, I agree with you. I think far as Collins Hill, I think Coach Swick is on the right track. I think I'm saying they're going to be a contender for a state title. I think they're moving in the right direction. A lot of young talent, but I think that set it up better for him with CJ Hector being the athlete. With CJ Hector being the athlete offensively and what he's able to do with the talent at running back that they have, and then defensively, Cottrell Webb, obviously Deuce Gerald's back in having some really good athletes. I feel like Collins Hill set up a little bit better for him, not in terms of talent, but just in terms of him having a more kind of what he's going to be, what the role is going to be. But I mean, obviously, he felt Buford was the spot to be. So we'll see how it pans out for him. But now it leaves a big void for Collins Hill, what they're going to have at quarterback, and they're going to have to figure that out in spring practice and what they're going to have to do.
Most definitely. Definitely going to be interesting. We're ready to go ahead and bring the young man on. I'm going to give his intro, especially, so I know the guest who's coming on today, man, just by the name of Braylen Everheart. If I'm saying his name correctly, man. But you've definitely seen him everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's been shoulder to, I ain't gonna say shoulder to shoulder, but you get what I'm trying to say. Kirby Smart, Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? Been around. I believe he's coached by Coach Ford, now the defensive coordinator at Georgia State. He's been everywhere. One of the top DBs in the class of 30-31. Definitely in middle school. You don't want to let him catch you in the press, man, because he will lock you up. But with that being said, we'll bring on the young man. Let's clap him up. Slow clap. How you doing today, man?
Good.
Hold on, brother. I be hearing that type of side effect on different videos, brother. There we go. But no Diddy. But just how you doing there, man? Kind of let the people know. I'm saying, kind of introduce yourself, man, who you are, what you're about, man, why you love the game of football so much. And don't forget to talk about your hair. Go ahead and build that up as well.
My name is Braylen Everheart. I started the game at 5 years old, and I love the game because what you could do with the game, and what you could do with the game, and how you could give back to the people that helped you when you were little.
And so, man, you've been everywhere, man. You've been, like I said, when you've been around Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, you're always around people that give you positive energy, man. Of course, they see you work hard, man. But I'm saying, who kind of instilled you to work so hard as a youngster, man?
My dad.
Your dad. He's always pushing you to see, like, he your like full-time trainer.
Yeah.
For sure. So just what does it mean to you, say everywhere you go, you always got somebody coming up to you, man? Do you know these guys are like off rip or they just coming up showing love?
Just coming up showing love. They know me off of social media. They see my clips they probably see my clips of me with Coach.
For sure. Speaking of clips, man, we got to run some of your clips, man. We got to let the people know what you're on, man, because what I'm saying, like I said, these people don't want to see you in no press, man, brother. The take is eat. Hopefully, I'm sharing my screen. Can y'all confirm, brothers? I'm over here on the Twitter. I'm not.
No, come on, brother. Come on.
I see.
Struggle is real.
Hey, really, you might have to teach them how to use social media, man.
By now, the people know, but they know I'm slow and steady. And slow and steady wins the race. Computer's kind of freezing up right now, though, but nonetheless, we're gonna keep them entertained.
Yes, sir. Well, while he's figuring this out and taking 10 years on that, Braylen, man, I got asked about the hair, man, because you got the flow going, man. How long you had that like that? Have you ever cut your hair, and how do you maintain that look, man?
Well, I've never cut it before. I've had it ever since I was born. I never cut it. I've never cut it, and I maintain it just by washing it and just washing it and keeping it nice.
Thanks, man. Hey, man, I'm trying to get my hair like yours. How can I get my hair like yours, man? I'm trying to grow it out like you, man. Got some tips
Unbraided,
for me?
unbraided, comb it.
Okay, okay,
Just, just wash it
Yeah.
just wash it every 2 days.
okay. All right, so I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna have my hair like yours. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A little film breakdown for the people who don't know. Let me put that down. All right. Now check them out, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. We got to back it up already. Look at the initial contact. Boom. Right to the solar plexus now. Knock the wind out of him. Boom. On his hip. But that first of all, brother. First of all, brother, you know what I'm saying? What type of bifocals you got on there, brother?
Like they they block your peripheral vision, so you can't see out the side.
So you just forward. So how does that kind of help you make you into a better player? What how does that separate you?
Separates me by being able to focus on the ball more, um catch the ball in traffic, and just maybe I might even give me a head top. Might
Yeah.
even give me a
Oh.
head top. Just lets me focus on the ball more.
Most definitely. Is the audio coming through as well, Jerome?
Yeah, it's in and out sometimes, so it's good.
All right, we're gonna try to play this clip, man. He was around a good brother, man. Like I say, he's always meeting the stars, but when you a star, you know what I'm saying, you fall amongst the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So when I find it, dang it. Man, don't worry about it. So, brother, kind of let people know, man, where you playing at this season? Where you playing middle school ball at?
Uh, I'm playing middle school ball at Gainesville. At
Gang,
Gainesville, middle school. Then going through high school, I'm going to Gainesville.
man.
Okay.
Gainesville got an embarrassment of riches, man. So like just kind of Coach Nesbitt is up there just from afar. I know you know what I'm saying, you're a young man, but what's your thoughts on just Gainesville football, the whole program, and the athletics as a whole?
It's like a family over there, and they treat it like a college. Practice in the morning. Everything just is run like a college, so it'll get me ready for college.
Most definitely, man. This is my last question now, passing on to Najee. You talk about getting on to college. I know you go around asking different people, man, like, how do I make it to the NFL? How do I make it to college? Why? What would it mean to you if you made it to the next level and ultimately end up making to the NFL? You know what I'm saying? That would change your life.
It would mean a lot, cause like right now, training every day, it would mean a lot, and I know all that hard work paid off when I was from a little kid to me being in the NFL.
For sure. Go ahead, Najee.
Now, obviously, man, you're very young. Obviously, you got some good buzz around you, man. You go into a great program in Gainesville, like you said. They practice in the mornings, treated almost like a college. Now, if you had to say, what part of your game you think stands out the most?
I would say probably like 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 he said, my press man work on that every single day. Press man, locking people up, press man, and being able to like read the quarterback in zone. I could do everything, and I could shut down one half of the field.
Okay. Now I gotta ask you. Obviously, you're great at all of those things. Is there anybody, whether it's the league, it's college, that you kind of model your game after? You like to watch and add different pieces of their game to yours.
I was just at the Clemson spring game. Stockbridge at Clemson. I want to model my game, um, like his. Um, he works so hard every day, and I just want to model my game like his.
Hey, Braylen, can you say
Gotcha.
that again? You kind of cut out a little bit, brother.
I think he's saying Shelton Lewis.
Um, yeah, I said Shelton Lewis. I want to model my
Hey,
game like his.
Okay.
He works out so hard every day, and he's just like a model to me.
Got you. Now for you, man, kind of describe how that Clemson atmosphere was, man. What was it like being at that spring game this past weekend?
Mm.
It was cool because I get to see how many seats it could fit, and I could see like when I go to Clemson, um, 10 years later from now, if I go to Clemson, I could see um Saturdays every Saturday going against a big college, all of those 100,000 people. It'll be so cool.
Got you. Now for you, man, I gotta ask outside of football, right? Obviously I know you train a lot and you do a lot of football work, obviously academics, but what do you like to do outside of football?
Um, I like to fish.
Mm.
Okay.
Fish, fish, and just be a kid playing the game, run around and fish.
Okay. Well, what's the biggest fish you caught?
Uh, largemouth bass.
Okay, largemouth bass. Okay, that's impressive. Okay, look at
Young
you.
man's a fisherman.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Obviously, I know you're still young, but just kind of talk about the impact your pops has kind of just had on you, just far as training you, getting you better every day, and just having you out there where you can really show your talent on the big stage and platforms where you get a chance to.
I'm at Tucker High School right now on the field. I've been working
I always bring.
since like
Yeah.
he here every day. Besides when I have to go to Coach Ford and go to voodoo practice, he brings me out here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday just to get work and brush up on some things.
Got you. I thought of you, Jerome.
yeah, really. As you know, I'm a former DB myself, so tell the viewers who's watching who be hating on the DBs. Why is the DBs the hardest position in football? Let them know. Let them know.
It's the hardest position in football because you can have somebody like Tyreek Hill one game, and in the next game you can have somebody like Keenan Allen, tall, shifty, and it's so hard because you can have somebody tall, somebody fast, and you don't know what route they're gonna run just based off technique, and like how you play the route, how you play the wide receiver.
You cooking with that answer. I love it. You cooking with that answer. All right, all right. So obviously, man, you've been around a lot of great players, coaches. What's some of your who's one of your favorite, celebrities that you've been around? Like not that you've been around Nick Saban, you've been around some. Who's your favorite that you met so far that got you like super
Oh,
excited?
my favorite one Nick Saban, cause he has an aura. I went to camp. Usually the camps are like kids can run around. Um, but it was ran very seriously. Um, like everybody was silent when he was talking on the mic, and he just has an aura around him, and like possibly like when I retire, I might coach,
Mhm.
so I can take some things from Nick Saban.
Oh man, I love that you have that futuristic, vision for yourself already, man. That's awesome. Obviously Nick Saban, just retired this off season. What was your initial reaction to that, man?
I was surprised because I thought when they lost to JJ McCarthy in Michigan, um, I thought he was gonna go another season and try to run it back, try to get a championship and retire. But when my dad showed it to me, I was like, "What? I can never see, I can never see him going out with a loss since he's Nick Saban."
Right.
Very true. True.
Right.
Yeah, I was very surprised too. I'm a Michigan fan, so when it happened, last thing he played. So anyway, I think
You try to
my
slip
next
that
question.
in there.
Literally, he literally tried to slip that in there, like nobody was going to notice. Literally.
Um, no, I agree though. I think that with him retiring, I think it was very unexpected. I don't think anybody expected it. We all thought he was gonna play forever and maybe coach you one day,
Yeah.
man. So hey man, I want to know though, how did you get your social media presence the way you have? Being able to be around the players and the coaches that you have. What came into that? What kind of sparked that?
It was just from day one. My dad just posted a video on social media, and being able to go to Coach for practice with Shelton Lewis, and Avion Terrell and AJ Terrell and Shaquille Griffin and
Yeah.
all those other people in the NFL, and college.
That's awesome, man. And one last question before I give it back to Bacon. Obviously, you've been playing football for a long time now. What is it about football that you love so much, man?
How do you give back to your community? Um, like my dad showed me this one clip of a person. He used all his money for his NIL from his NIL deal just to give his mom and his family a car and a brand new house.
Nice, nice. Go ahead, Bacon.
Yeah, man. For the people, man. I know you. I don't want you not. You're not really messing up anything, brother. But you know what I'm saying. Just what's like. Let me get my words together. What's your favorite school? Like, what's a school that you when you go to sleep at night? What school like I want to play for this team? Top three, bro.
Number one, LSU.
By you, boy.
TBU.
It, it was gonna be Alabama at number two, but since Nick Saban left, gotta go with Tennessee. No, gotta go with
Mm.
Clemson and
Yeah,
Tennessee. So
Clemson, Tennessee.
LSU, Clemson.
Respectable. Why you like LSU so much? You just like you like the culture down there? Why you like LSU? We still locked in?
I think so.
Mhm.
I think he might have froze. He might have froze. He might have lost him a little bit there.
I was gonna ask him which one. I was gonna ask him about y'all two. I was gonna ask him. You can lock these two old jokers down. He's probably gonna say yeah. You come back on and ask him.
Hey, Brandon, did you hear the question? I think we lost him. He's out there on the track, so we might get him a
on the
little bit later.
field. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
let's move on a little bit since have him, and then we'll see what happens once we get back on. So wait, I think we got him. Hold on. There we go. I think we got him now. So let's get back in there. Braylen, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, we got
but
you back.
last couple questions, brother. Out of Jerome and Najee, you definitely locking them down, right?
Oh yeah.
Easy, like
Just-
push them to the ground, stomp on them.
You might.
Yeah, just old and slow.
Yeah, yeah. That boys got tightened up. These boys don't be in the gym like you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You might lock them down and give them a quick shimmy and go on them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, definitely not for sure.
See, I got jokes.
I still got the technique in there. I might be slow, but I still got my old football roots. I still got my techniques. You know what I mean? Like,
don't let them fool you.
All right, you might lock me down, but I'm gonna make it hard for you. How about that?
That's funny.
I
don't think you're buying it.
He ain't buying it for sure, brother. But last name, man. Just what's some favorite? What's your music taste, and what's some pregame snacks that you're doing?
Music taste. My dad plays it in the car every day. I like jazz. And my pregame snack. Waffles and oatmeal.
Waffles and oatmeal. Breakfast of champions, brother. You know what I'm saying? Would you like to go ahead? Would you like to plug anything, brother? Shout anybody out, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out best DB coach in the world, Coach Ford, and thanks to AJ and Avion Terrell for talking to me, and their dad for talking to me and saying doesn't don't
Kind of breaking up a little, my friend. I don't know if you can hear us, Pops, but y'all kind of breaking up a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you for Avion and AJ Terrell for talking to me, and Dad for saying it see work, it counts. People don't see work in the park.
All right.
Nah, for sure, brother. Like I said, it's kind of hard hearing you, brother. I hope you can hear us as well, brother. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you too as well, Pops. You know what I'm saying, for letting y'all kind of come back in. Appreciate y'all for letting them come on and speak a speech, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely keep doing your thing, brother. You hear from everybody, brother. You're special. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused, stay locked in, and keep God first, man.
All right, brother. You have a good one, man. All right.
DJ Rumble cousin.
That was Brandon. Young man doing some big stuff already. How old is he? I didn't get the age.
Don't give me the line. He's in middle school. I was getting ready to say. I was getting to like 11, 12. I don't know. I know, but he's in middle school, so probably like 9 to 11, 12.
Yeah, I was thinking around that too. But we could definitely get him on again. Obviously, we was having some technical difficulties with that one. But let's get into some of our other conversations, our other topics. Now you want to start us up?
Yeah, so the big one we got Mason Short of Evans, 6'6", about 305. From obviously Evans, officially committed to Georgia. For me, I think he obviously looks really good far as what he can do, what he can bring on the next level for Georgia. And I think he could be a guard, man. Definitely on the next level. I know he plays a little bit of tackle now, but you got to shout out Kirby Smart for what he did as far as his recruitment. As far as getting him, bringing him in after he decommitted from Alabama and staying on his recruitment. And I think once they had that open period in January where they could start communicating with college kids or high school kids, I should say, that pretty much wrapped it up. And he was high on Georgia ever since. And just seems like a nice match for them.
Nah, facts, man. Definitely, like when Nick Saban retired, definitely they had a lot of big recruits get ready to come in. Say it was get ready to come back full steam. But things change. But like you said, Georgia's had that front. They had a chokehold on the game ever since that moment. So it was no big surprise. But I did like the way he presented himself when he did his commit. When he had the Ray Charles. We finna pull it up. We can't let the people, if you didn't see it, we're gonna let you see it right here on First and Foremost. Make it big screen for the people.
Being said,
yes, sir.
I'll be continuing my athletic and academic career at
Georgia. Come on now. Georgia. It don't get no better than that, man. For those who don't know, for the young bulls that's watching this, that's Ray Charles, man. What can I say, man?
Hey, man, man got taste. Man got taste. I love it.
Yeah, man. Big
it was a good signing by Georgia. I think that Mason can definitely anchor some of that line over there, man. He's gonna be a great addition. We have him on our top 25 some time ago. So I think that he's an incredible athlete, and able to play well with Georgia. Like he's saying, Bacon, Alabama was one of them places. Once I knew Alabama was kind of out of it, I just kind of knew that, it's most likely gonna be Georgia. He's in the state, so Georgia's gonna get the best talent out of the state. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. Just kind of expect it. And they was gonna reload. They're a good team. As long as they got Kirby Smart, they're gonna be the next one. Honestly, I think Kirby Smart might actually take over as the next, Saban as far as getting the best recruits right now, because
he's already done that.
Yeah. So
yeah, he's already there with that.
I don't know though. I think Dabo they had him. I think they had him, but Georgia came in and pulled the rug out from under everybody. Big, hey, twin. We appreciate you tuning there, brother. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what we can do. That was an agency play. That was an agency play. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That was not a mutual. That was like an agency thing, man. That was that Sports Illustrated card. Threw that extra spade down, and you know what I'm saying? Well, opportunity meets preparation. But yeah, man, I think Dabo had him, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Georgia, they just got that man a little more in the booster club, but they definitely got come through, man. So yeah, like I said, I was getting big offensive players, man. Respectfully, much love, brother. We here, twin. We here. They got Bo. They got dang, who else? They just got somebody from Walton. My goodness, y'all know what I'm talking about. Big man. Walton, the offensive.
Oh, Daniel Calhoun. Oh,
yes.
I thought you were talking about 25 class. I thought you.
No, I'm just talking about like the lineage as of late. Yeah. Daniel Calhoun, now him. I always get the big boys, but
yeah,
that's true. No doubt. No doubt. All right, we'll keep it rolling. We'll go on to the next one. Cam Coleman balls out for Auburn at the spring game. 4 catches, 92 yards, including a 34-yard touchdown catch, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Auburn offensively is gonna be something to watch. Defensively, they're gonna have to work some kinks out and figure out some stuff. But bro, what Auburn got coming in at wide receiver? Hey, Bama fans out there. Hey, look, bro. Malcolm Simmons for Benjamin Russell. Don't sleep on him. He gonna be cold when he come. We got to see him play, obviously, at the Hoover 707 last year. That kid can play. You got Perry Thompson and Cam Coleman. Yo, the quarterback's not going to have to do too much. I mean, throwing in their vicinity, they're going to go get the ball. All of them, can track the ball at a high level. All of them got their own kind of versatile skill sets. Man, I think Auburn is trending in the right direction, especially at the wide receiver group. And I think it takes the pressure off the quarterbacks, man, when you have elite guys like that.
Nah, man.
Yeah, Auburn's definitely going to be thin on the defensive back aspect of it. You know, they got a lot of young guys that's going to be having to step up.
Yeah, they got Ken Lee now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, my boy Jalen Crawford is going to be trying to get into that rotation over there. But you know, they lost four DBs to the NFL draft this year, so they're going to be light back there a little bit. So we're going to see how that goes. But as far as offense, man, they're going to be in good hands. Cam Coleman, ironically, there's a Cam Coleman in the draft, but Cam Coleman for Auburn, man, you look really good. I think that you know he's going to be able to help some of these DBs, these young DBs, because they're going to have to learn quick with him out there, man. So yeah, he had a really good game. Hopefully, you know, that translates to the games because again, it is a young DB position, so he's gonna, you know, torch some guys over there. But you know, I think it's iron sharpening iron, man, and I think that you know he's one of those. He's probably gonna be one of the top receivers coming out. So we'll see. We got them.
I don't know about the week at the DB thing. Like you said, they got Jalen Crawford, they got Ken Lee, Cedar Grove grad, 2023 4-star prospect.
I didn't say week. I said like they're young.
They're going up against the best every day in practice, man. I think they're gonna be ready.
Hold up. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Most definitely, it's definitely gonna blow. It's definitely gonna blow. But let us know, you know what I'm saying. If you want to come on, talk to peace, you know what I'm saying. We can definitely bring you on one day, you know what I'm saying. Bring some of the viewers on, show viewer love. Go ahead, John. What was you getting ready to say, brother? Because
I know. All right, y'all getting into it. Let me hear this debate. Yeah, get the fans what they want to hear. Let me hear this debate, dog. Go ahead.
Listen, I didn't say. Listen, you know how I am about the Auburn boys. I think you know Jalen Crawford is the one that I think is going to be the one that really emerged in that DB group. You know, but again, they're young. They still have to learn the system. They still have to learn how to play in college. So again, it's not me saying that they're going to be bad or they're not talented. They're still young. So, you know, they're light. That's what I meant when I said light. There's not a veteran there. That's what I meant by that. Don't say words in my mouth, sir.
Nah. It's 2020. We're going to 2020. I'll let you slide on that, brother. But definitely, brother. Hit one of us in the DMs, brother. We'll get you squared away for next week. This wide receiver group is young. I know they're sprinkling a couple of veterans, but we get back to the offense and we'll kind of bring it full circle back to the defense, right? Malcolm Simmons wasn't even on the field; he didn't play. But Cam
Perry
Coleman
Thompson didn't play either.
Perry Thompson didn't play.
You talking about dogs?
Kid, like all around the field.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Who's the other kid?
I can't remember the kid's name, but he's a teammate of Cam from Opelika. You know what I'm saying? He definitely flashed when I went and saw him. They played. Who they played? No, not Opelika. I'm sorry, Phoenix City. He, a fellow teammate at Phoenix City that played Opelika. He flashed. So, but like I said, though that young group of wide receivers were giving them the nod. You know what I'm saying? These young DBs, I feel like they're talented as well. So let's give them their just due, man. They are 4 stars in their own right. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to put anything in your mouth, but I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying, shed a light to Cedar Grove and Parkview brothers. Georgia's own.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Homegrown.
No.
I love them boys. I think Jalen Crawford is actually well past, you know, what he should have been coming out, you know. So
you think
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you thinking of Bryce Kane. I just looked him up. Bacon.
That's a receiver. Okay.
About.
Yeah. He can play.
Yeah.
He can play.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. So we'll keep it moving. Let's roll to our next topic. Keep it rolling on the show. Sammy Brown and Stephon Green turned some heads. Our final topic with Clemson football. I'll be quick with mine, and I'm gonna throw it to Jerome. I just think, obviously, you know, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Some of those, stats is a little, you can take it with a grain of salt. Spring game, you know what I'm saying? But I think Stephon Green, I mean, he's an absolute force. I definitely think he can do a lot of great things. And what he's going to bring to them defensively, they look so good. I mean, Clemson, it's almost like a spot like you go as a freshman and you can come and play. right? And that's all with the kind of philosophy that Dabo has, right? Dabo's not really getting into the transfer portal like that, right? He's expecting these guys to come in as freshmen and be able to contribute. And then from there, if you're able to develop more and more, you potentially get playing time and be a starter. So I think defensively they're going to be good. Avion Terrell's looks like he's going to be the number one corner, even as a sophomore. He flashed last year on that opposite side of the field. He's going to replace Nate Wiggins. Then you bring in Shelton Lewis. The little man just talked about him and how much he modeled his game after him. Then you got Khalil Barnes out of North Oconee at the safety spot. I mean, he's going to be very good this year. And then you, on top of that, you add potentially if they can keep his commitment coming in another year from now. Tay Harris. I mean, they're going to be deep. So defensively, you got to feel good. And then Sammy Brown even flashed a little bit too, getting the sack in that one, rushing the passer. I think he's going to definitely kind of be in that rotation. And if he plays good early on, y'all, I think he's going to be the starter because they lost Jeremiah Trotter to the draft. All they got is the Barrett Carter, who returns. So he's going to definitely be able to come in. What worries me about them, y'all, quarterback. Like Luke said, bro, this average. Like you had a walk-on, Trent Perriman outplay your starter. Like, bro, that's a problem. And it's not like, obviously, not as deep as they once were at wide receiver, but Brian Wesco was flashing in that game. Like, that's a guy, same thing with Coleman. You just throw the ball in his vicinity, he's going to go make a play. So I think, obviously, the timing wasn't there. Good thing is it's still early, but Clemson got to figure some things out offensively, and it shouldn't be a problem. They got Phil Maffa coming back. You got a nice freshman coming in, and obviously David Osiemi, formerly of North Cobb. So you got the pieces, but I think that game against Georgia, man, it's going to say a lot about Clemson and say where they at and what the state of their program is. But overall, man, obviously a good spring game, but quarterback, they're going to have to figure that out. And they're going to have to recruit a 25 kid very hard and bring him in for some competition if Cade Klubnik is there next year or a potential as a starter in 2025.
Yeah, Klubnik's the best, definitely the biggest X factor there. You know, I'm a big Klubnik guy. Been following him since he's been at Westlake in Texas. So I'm big. I'm high on him. He got potential. I just think that I don't know. He just need to put it together. It's just something's not clicking right now. So I still got my hopes high on him. But to get back on Sammy, man, I figured this might happen. Like you said, Jeremy Trotter Jr. is going to be out of there. They need somebody in there. And so that's the one thing I love about Dabo Swinney. He's going to pick the best player in this. He don't care what year you are. Like, there's a lot of programs out there where I'm hearing, like, oh, my kid won't get in because they just don't play freshmen. They don't do this. And I heard a lot of parents saying that. And it's like, with Dabo, I know he's going to play the best man. So if he don't care if you're a 6-year senior or you just getting there, you're going to play. If you balling, you're going to play. And I knew Sam Grant had a huge chance to do that with, you know, some of the Parsons that are going to be there and, you know, some of the, you know, the atmosphere around what, and when they brought him in, I think he was their most excited prospect coming in this year, I think, you know, when they got him. So they were very high on him, you know, were ready for him to come in and compete. And with him turning heads, man, I think it's going to be a huge thing. You know, Clemson got a bright future. Again, we got to see about the quarterback position right now. But, I mean, Sheldon Lewis, you know, Avion holding it down for the young DBs back there. You know, you got I'm real big on RJ Mickens, the guy that we interviewed when he was in high school as well. I think he's going to have he had a really good year last year. I think he's going to take to that next level this year at the safety position. But, I mean, Clemson is going to be a good team. It just, you got to figure out that quarterback position. And the receivers need to, you know, somebody need to step out. You know, West Coast is looking real good out there, so they got at least one right there. But, yeah, they was tearing them up in that practice, man. He was looking real good. And it was funny because Sheldon Lewis actually called it. He was like, watch this kid. And, yeah, he balled out. So, we're going to see, and like you said, Naj, that first game is going to be a real test to this team. And I hope that, you know, Sammy Brown and Green, you know, really, you know, help them in any kind of capacity because I'd love to see them on the field in any way early, as soon as possible. So, go ahead, Bacon.
Yes, that you know, Clemson, they've been getting it done in churches for a while. What's his name? Steph
Green. Yep, formerly of Rome.
Yeah. 4, you know what I'm saying? 4 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. You can't do no better than that, man. Did an interview with Luke, man. Read a little quote. I just had to learn the plays, not having to go out there and think. Just let it be natural. You know what I'm saying? I already had the physical attributes So I came out there and ball. Anytime you get 4 sacks, 4 TFLs, that's definitely balling. They loaded in the trenches. Sammy Brown's another monster. So you know what I'm saying. I like to see the homegrown talent do their thing. You know what I mean? So man, shout out to Clemson, shout out to Sammy and Steph Island for going green.
That's funny, bro. Before we transition to 3-man weave, is there any hot button topics y'all boys want to address before we move on to basketball?
From football,
Hot takes,
man.
whatever.
I just think we need to talk about this. Why does the NFL not want to? Why do we only pay quarterbacks? Why do we not pay back to the Stephon Diggs thing? They only pay quarterbacks up front. It's the only position that can be awarded for what you can potentially do. Essentially, running backs had to wait. Wide receiver Julio Jones had to wait. Antonio Brown had to wait. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll get ready to see what they're gonna do. What the Cowboys are gonna do with Mika Fitzpatrick. Not Mika Fitzpatrick. Is it
Michael Parsons?
Mika Parsons? Michael Parsons. Excuse me. Michael Parsons. They got CD up. It's a lot. It's
Dak
a lot. Dak. Yeah.
Well, Dak already got his money, so he's looking for more money in his second contract. But you know what though? Huh?
It's the last year of his contract. That's why it's not the money part. It's the last year of his contract.
No, I know, but I'm saying he already got his bag. Is what I'm saying. He's looking for his second bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
he better be there training camp day one. Sorry, Nash.
Yeah. Nah, you fine, bro. No, I mean you pose a great question, Bacon. I think it's just obviously it's a passing league, and the most important position is quarterback. You got if you don't have the guy, you're in trouble. So I think with him kind of being the commander of the offense, him being the leader, more likely than not, him leading the team. Obviously, the trenches is what's most important because if you don't got no trenches, you can't do nothing. I don't care who you got back. I don't care you got Tom Brady. I don't care if you got Patrick Mahomes. If you're not protecting them, you're screwed. You're done.
Right.
But I just think they look at it at a high level because there's only so few guys, only 32 positions in the league, Bacon, if you think about it, and only a certain amount of spots, only a certain amount of all pros you're gonna get, only a certain amount of guys that are gonna have starting jobs. So I think that's why they value it so much. It does suck. I agree with you. Like running back, how did they value the position? How you can kind of hit the gates running, and you show what you can do, and you still don't even get paid. It's just tough. Hopefully it gets reset. Hopefully like they can change the kind of outlook on it. But I think it's tough. But the good thing is I think receiver is one of the more kind of value positions, believe it or not. Even though I know this draft is deep, I think they get their money more than anybody outside of quarterback.
Yeah, you look at all the trades and the free agency moves, man, in a wide receiver deep class, you would think these guys are not going to move. Or if they were going to move, they're going to move after the draft once the teams kind of figure out, who they drafted and stuff like that. No, there was a lot of movement on that wide receiver position. Keenan Allen, Diggs, Calvin Ridley. There was a lot of big name wide receivers being moved around this offseason. So, very surprising in the deep wide receiver draft. But to answer your question, man, it's hard. It's hard, and I think GMs are actually starting to realize this. I realized this about 3 years ago when we had that one draft that included Kenny Pickett, and I was really like, man, NFL, the NFL draft, you just draft a quarterback early. You just draft a quarterback early. You just have to. And I think consistently, we all thought, that was one of the less talented quarterback drafts in a while, and
it was.
I was just like, man, it's gonna have to be 2 or 3 guys in the first round. It was literally only one, and even after that one, it was like 1 or 2 in the second. No, I don't even think it was 2 in the second round. It was 1 in the second round, and everybody was like round 3 and less. I think GM's really starting to understand there's a lower chance of you hitting somebody in the first round, than you would think, and yeah, I hardly think it's going to be maybe 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the first round this year. But out of those 4 or 5 guys, realistically, the chances of all of them being good are slim. You only get 1 or 2 in the first round that are really good, and then everybody else are just either journeyman, backups, or okay guys, So when you get somebody like a Kirk Cousins that's going to be in there, and obviously, he haven't done much in the playoffs, and his stats are not his stats are crazy, but his record's not that great. You know,
Not when it
when you
counts.
got somebody that's gonna at least be serviceable enough to get you have some help, I think that's when quarterbacks or teams are starting to be like, hey, let's pay this man now because that's our signal callers. If we go in the draft, it's most likely not going to be, there's a less chance of them emerging, And I know there's a lot of coaches that think, yeah, I can get a lot out of this guy, this, and that. But the reality is, most of the first round picks don't pan out. We had the draft with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was not even the first quarterback drafted that year. He's the only one that really stand out that year. You know what I'm saying? So we got to look at it like that. Like, I think GMs are starting to realize that. I think that's the position that, hey, if that don't pan out, you can lose your job. So, and speaking of that, if y'all don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting ready to add my fire to the fuel, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna segue. I was gonna use that as a segue. I don't know if you guys heard. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm personally, like, for a specific situation, like I'm not gonna give the bag like they did to Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not gonna necessarily go give the bag to a Kirk Cousins over a Russell Wilson, because if you've seen the QB1 documentary, we've seen Kirk Cousins has been broke down, and I'm definitely not gonna give Daniel Jones the big bag. You know what I'm saying? Not underachieving. So it just, I don't know. It's, I guess, like Unc said on the pod last night. Said quarterback is the only position where you can get your money all perception, what you're supposed to be, and everybody else has to do it, prove it, and wait till the last day, last week, or last hour before training camp to it's got to be a stalemate, and it doesn't make. I mean, there's some underlying reasons why I think why, but you know what I'm saying. This. Well, we got to end it. We got to end it. We got to end what's in saying National Football Player, NFLPA, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work. I mean, I know the owners are stubborn, the players are stubborn, but it's got to be some middle ground we can come into.
Yeah, you're talking about the Players Association.
The Players Association, yeah.
And they do a better job. You're right. They do. And the players, like I be saying all the time, the players, they got to have an onus. Without them, there's no league. Without them, these owners don't make these billions of dollars. So at some point, too, like, you got to lose a little bit of your leverage, too, with it. And if you bind together, we've seen it time and time again, whether it's sports, whether it's in history, when you bind together and you have a common goal, you can achieve what you want to achieve. So that's what they got to do. Same thing with the turf BS, man. Like, obviously, like, they need to get rid of that on MetLife. Like, come on, bro. How many Achilles and ACL tears we need to see?
Right.
Players got to know this. Like, they got to be bringing this up. You know what I'm saying?
My team got played 2 times a year, man. If we play the Jets, we got played 2 times a year, and we had to do that last year. And I was just like, and we got a couple players that got injured in those games. So,
facts. And they talking about going to 18 games by what, 2030? Come on, bro.
They got to figure out something.
Yeah.
But, to real quick before we get off, I did have one more topic. I wanted to know what you guys thought about it. I don't know if y'all guys heard it. Mel Hodges, former NFL running back for the Steelers, I believe he was, came out and said about Drake May. He said, if you draft Drake May in the top 10, you're trying to get fired. And I'm paraphrasing, but he pretty much said that. I want to know what you guys thought about that comment that he made.
I like Drake May, to be honest. I haven't watched enough film. I'm actually working on. Well, I can't pull up that YouTube right now, but that'll get us copyrighted. But I haven't seen a lot of Drake May. I do think he could be a solid starter in the league. Maybe a franchise quarterback. He did some good things at North Carolina. Maybe a franchise quarterback in the right system, but I think that statement is egregious, in my opinion. I like Drake May.
What you think, Nate? Okay.
It's the same thing that happens every year in the draft, man. You always gonna have an analyst that comes out and says something about a player. Like they had it last year with CJ Stroud. They made that more complicated than what it was because he didn't do well
Yes.
on some tests and there said, oh, well, he should be the 5th quarterback selected. He might not get drafted in the 1st round. Like, come on, man, that's blasphemy. If you go roll the tape and look what CJ Stroud did, best defense in the league. In NCAA and torched them. You know, if Marvin Harrison don't get hurt, they win that game. I don't care nobody say they win that game. So I feel like every year you're gonna have some. This year they're talking about now. I think it's Malik Neighbors. If it's not Neighbors, it's Thomas. One of the LSU receivers. They're talking about, oh, well, he's high maintenance. He's this. He's that. It's always some BS story that comes out that they try to tank the, they story whatever. What I'll say to kind of his comment, I think May needs to be in the right situation. I really do. You could take him that high, but do you have a plan for him? He's not going to be a guy like a Joe Burrow or maybe a Caleb Williams or a Trevor Lawrence, right? I don't think he's a guy that's going to be like that guy week 1, that guy as soon as he comes in the building. I think he's going to be like a Patrick Mahomes. Like he needs 1 to 2 years, 3 years. And I'm not comparing him, but or Jordan Love, I should say, as a better example. Give him a couple years to learn up under a veteran and then give him the keys to the car when it's time. So I think the comment is a little, out there. But I think if the team sets him up in the right situation, they don't force him to be the starter week 1. They let him naturally develop. I think he's going to be a great prospect. That's all it depends on.
Yeah.
Is that I think the comment's kind of, it's a little egregious.
Exactly. Definitely a high-end Brock Purdy. I'm sorry, Joe. High-end Brock Purdy.
How you good? No, I agree with you guys. I think that, the comment was very unnecessary. I could see if he said that, hey, I got some issues with him. I don't think he's good at this point or that point. To say that somebody's going to get fired for drafting somebody is insane. Because, again, like I said earlier, you don't know how these drafts are going to go. Like, it could be, like, all right, let's think about this. When, Josh Allen. When Josh Allen came out on the draft, who really thought he should have been drafted as high as he was? Nobody. Okay, maybe Bacon. But there was very little people that thought that, Josh Allen should have been picked as high as he was. Now, looking back at it, you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. You don't know how these guys' careers are going to be. You don't know where he's going to go, first of all. You don't know how the coaching staff is going to do to help him out. You can't just go out and say stuff like that, Like, if you have issues with some of his game, that's one thing. But to say somebody's going to come in and get somebody fired, that's crazy to me. And I think that, every situation is different. You never know. Like, the player that we all might be thinking is going to be, the best in this draft might not be the best. There's a lot of situations that have happened. You seen what happened in RG3. He was really good his rookie season, and then he got injured. You know what I mean? And then totally derailed his season. I mean, his career. You don't know what's going to happen. So to say that somebody's going to get fired for drafting him is just insane. I know that this is the type of year where you get a lot of smoke and, the neighbors thing, stuff like that. I get that just happens every year. To say we're concerned about somebody's character or something like that happens every single year. So when we talk about it, I'm just like, or when you hear it, it's just like, that just talk, that just draft talk, that just happens, But to say that somebody's going to get somebody fired, I think that's crazy. So.
That's facts. Is Josh Allen going to struggle this year? Last thing, we can move on real quick. Is Josh Allen going to be okay without Stephon Diggs?
No. More.
Josh?
I like his tight ends. I like his tight ends. He got some solid receivers. But one of the things that we kept talking about with Josh Allen is that he kept trying to play hero ball. He kept trying to run the ball too much. He kept doing this and that. When we got Stephon Diggs, he didn't have to run as much. He was getting injured early on in his career because he kept running so much. He had Stephon Diggs, so he didn't have to run as much, even though he still does it a lot. And you were just talking about him not running as much and passing the ball a little bit more. Now they lose Stephon Diggs. They don't have a number one guy right now, really. They have to rely on Shakir, who's I think is more better suited for a slot. I don't think he's going to succeed without him, to be honest. Love the tight ends though. Love both of the guys. Two guys that I'm very high on. But
Thanks.
we did much.
Yeah, for me, real quick, yeah, I think it's gonna be you're gonna find out a lot about Josh Allen this season. I really think so, and like Jerome said, he might be trying to play a lot of hero ball. The pressure has went up on Josh, and they're gonna have to go get a wide receiver early, like a first or second round. A Brian Thomas, A.D. Mitchell, Xavier Worthy. They're gonna have to go get a guy, and it's gonna put more pressure on Josh Allen. Obviously, they found a run game. They got a good offensive coordinator in Joe Brady, but they're gonna have to be able to figure out some different things. And we're going to know, like Mahomes just did it, but that's Mahomes. Mahomes has done more with less. Now can Josh Allen do the same thing? We're going to find out this season, and it's going to be tougher, I think.
The difference is Mahomes had Kelsey.
Yes. He's gonna have to have one person. They got. I mean, it's a lot of talented receivers in the draft this year, so you know what I'm saying. Maybe they might pull something off, but like I said, it's definitely gonna be a test for Josh Allen and company. But segueing on, you know, so we were remiss. We're moving on to the 3-man weave. And we'll be remiss not talk about last night's not state championship, national championship win by UConn. I believe being the first team to win back-to-back championships since who?
06, 07, Florida Gators.
06, 07, Florida Gators, a la Al Horford, Joakim Noah, and Rodney Brewer. I know his last name Brewer. I can't remember if it's Rodney or not. But you know what I'm saying, Naj, you know what I'm saying? Just what's your overall thoughts on the game? Yeah.
I told you about UConn.
Yeah. Facts.
For me, I think Bama gave them more of a fight than Purdue did. Purdue was good in the first half, but I thought Alabama with their shot making, they made it tough for UConn. Obviously, UConn was able to run away with the game at the end. But bro, I told you, Stephon Castle's the real deal. Obviously, you already knew that, but I told you why I had him very, very high and why I think he could win it. I thought his development, his progression was a lot. Obviously, Tristan Newton, one of the most outstanding player of the tournament, and he came up big in that game, having over 20 points. But I thought against Alabama, Castle really carried them, man, and got them to the national championship game, scoring 21, having, I think, 5 rebounds, multiple assists. Just they're never sped up, man. And I think how they run their offense is to perfection. Go look at the end of the game. They're running all these sets, and the clock's running down. But every single time this team is getting a good shot, whether it's a layup at a rim, it's an open three, it's a mid-range jumper, or throwing it down low to Donovan Clingan. Every single time. It does not matter what they do or what defense comes up. Always getting a good shot. So I thought they were great. And it was like, look, we finna stop them. They're the best three-point shooting team in the NCAA at 41%. We're only gonna let them get 7 shots, and they went 1 for 7. Their defense in the second half was outstanding. And also Zach Edey in that game went like, I think from the first half all the way until like 13, 12 minutes going into the second half without even getting a field goal basket. So that goes to tell you they were fronting them more, they were adding more pressure to him, and you got to give a shot at Donovan Clingan. His numbers aren't gaudy, but what he was doing, forcing him out the paint, making those shots difficult for him, you got to give him a shout out as well, man. But I thought it was an incredible game. Purdue did great, but they said, like, look, we're going to let Edey eat, and we're going to make it tough for your perimeter players. And got to give a shout out one more time to Stephon Castle. Guard against Miller, he scored 9 in the first quarter. Didn't hear from him the rest of the game. Completely took him out of the game. So special shout out to him. UConn, I think, is one of the best teams. I put it on the list. I think they're one of the best teams in the modern era.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Anything to add, Jerome?
Yeah, I think that once we've seen the Duke, UNC, and what was the other team? Kentucky. I think once we've seen those teams kind of lose, I think it was all UConn from that at that point. I just felt, UConn had the best talent, and then you didn't have your heavy hitters. Like I said, I think I looked at them and gave them a better run. Once Purdue got in there, and don't get me wrong, Purdue's a good team, but I thought once I seen it's going to be Purdue, I was like, this probably most likely going to be UConn's game, and they definitely dominated that game. So shout out to the boys.
No, yeah, most definitely, man. What really stood out to me last night was, and I was what's UConn's head coach name? Remind me.
Dan Hurley.
Dan Hurley, I was like, man, come on, coach, you can't just let Edie go crazy. Because when it started games, I was like, man, Zach Edie might go for 50.
50.
The way he was playing them little baby hooks coming down, like, coach, you can't just. But then as I didn't know that the Boilermakers were an elite 3-point shooting team. So once I understood that, I was like, okay, coach is just gonna let him come down, sit up on the block, let him go for how many he's gonna go for, and they're not gonna get that start moving the ball around now. And then in the second half, they started at the end of the first half and well into the second half, he made an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching high level coaching, you can see it. That second half, they kind of started collapsing on Zag, and when they started to make those extra passes, they started turning the ball over, and you can't hit that spurt, and they really never looked back. But I'm getting ready to run this clip of Zach Edey in the post. This is excuse me. This is in the first half. I just want to kind of get y'all opinion, and if anything I see, I'll kind of break it down if I see it. Can we see good? Can we see? All right, bet. So as you see, let's see. Obviously easy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think he handled UConn Center pretty well. I think he had the advantage just on strength. But you got to give credit to UConn making tough shots, extra passes. They just really play basketball on them boys. But you know, so you got to give credit to Zach. I believe he had a poster dunk on what's his name?
That wasn't him.
Not that. But in that game, he did dunk on it. That wasn't him. It was a guard or something.
You're thinking of Heidi. You're thinking of Heidi off that putback. Yeah, that's you thinking of. Now he caught a body, but the Klingon wasn't in there.
You sure?
Yes, I know exactly what play. He got it off the whatchamacallit. He did post. He posted right Cam Spencer. It wasn't Klingon. Klingon wasn't in the game.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You just got to give credit to Zaki for playing his heart out. But he has been playing a lot of minutes over the course of the season and the tournament, so the brother did get tired and gassed out. But you got to give credit to where credit is due. Back-to-back chance for UConn. If you tune in the first take, you will see, you know what I'm saying? Molly came in and kind of her and Shannon had that little back and forth bet. And also had a brand new bag. Not a Birkin, but just, you know what I'm saying, just a little something. Just a little something. But segueing on to the next game, the women's side, Don Staley and South Carolina pull off the undefeated season. I believe the 5th or 6th undefeated season for women's all time. Don Staley gets her third national championship. Last one being in 2017. You know what I'm saying? She had a moment, you know what I'm saying? She broke down, got herself together. And the first thing, what was the first thing she did, brothers? She gave credit.
Yeah, the glory to God. That's how you got to go.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was going to say Kellen Clark. First of all, she did get credit to talk to the man upstairs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's important. Okay. I mean, you religious or not, bro. That's important.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's important. Yeah.
Now go ahead. Talk about the Clayton quote.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what the quote, but she gave her a just due, man. She said, if you're out there, shout out to you for basically being one of the pillars of putting the women's game at the forefront. And you know what I'm saying, kudos to you because it's pressure. She played a lot of game of pressure. She even came out and said some of the pressure kind of got to her, not really being nervous, but just overall pressure. That means people really coming out to see me play, and she did her thing. So shout out to Don Staley and the Lady Gamecocks for doing that thing. What's his name? Raven Johnson on the defensive side. I can't remember the other Johnson. Tessa Johnson, 19 points. Very big. Was not expecting that. I didn't know who was going to go out and make those big shots. They got a lot of big shot makers. Of course, you can't forget about Malaysia Full Wiley, but Tessa Johnson definitely came in and got things going. Camila Cardoso cleaned it up, man. But you know what I'm saying? That's enough for me. You know what I'm saying? What's your opinion, Nash?
Yeah, man, I think it was a great game, man. Shout out to Coach Dawn Staley, and just paraphrasing her a little bit, she said, you know, I want to thank Clayton Clark for uplifting our sport, which she did, and also just consider her one of the GOATs, which obviously she is, right? You got to, when you consider her career, you got to look at impact. Did she win it all on the big stage? No, but she did more with less talent and got her team there every single time. And peep this, y'all, set viewing records every single time. She went from 11 million in the LSU game to 14 million in the Final Four, and then set another one to 18.7 million in the national title game, which was more than the average NFL viewership this past season. That tells you everything you need to know. And you go back and look at the viewership of the game last night, 14.9 million, up slightly, a little bit better. I thought it was more exciting, obviously, this year's championship basketball men's side than it was last year. But shout out to her for uplifting the sport. But yeah, man, I just think as a totality, I talk about the game and obviously my stance on it. But Camila Cardozo was a problem, right? Them 15 points, 17 rebounds, cleaning up the glass, blocking shots, 3 blocks in that game. She was fantastic. And you got to give a shout out to South Carolina. They were down in that game early. Caitlin dropped 18 points in the first quarter, the most ever in the tournament, right? And they adjusted. So shout out to Westlake alumni. I don't know if you knew that, Bacon, but Raven Johnson went to Westlake. Yes, out in Atlanta. McDonald's All-American, Gatorade Player of the Year. Shout out to her because she adjusted in the second quarter and they made it tough for Caitlin. Caitlin went off, and then next thing you know, in the game, you know what I'm saying, she's struggling to shoot, struggling to score. She ended up, I think, like 10 for 28 field goals overall. So that is a special shout out to her. And she had 4 bookies against her too. So she was doing what she needed to do. It's a little tick-tacky to start, but I thought Dawn Staley and crew, they adjusted very good to kind of how the whistle was being called, and they was able, obviously, to kind of do their thing. Appreciate you, man, for tuning in. Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming on as well. But yeah, I thought they did a good job of that. And obviously, shout out to Tessa Johnson. That was the biggest difference with South Carolina this year, Bacon. They had shot makers, they had shooters. Tessa was balling. And then Fool Wiley with the defensive presence and some of them passes. You know how Caitlin is, Bacon. She want to get that ball. She throwing it. Fool Wiley athleticism, getting them deflections, turning them into steals, hitting them big shots. All that stuff was big, man. And also special shout out to Sanaa Fagan, who is a Forest Park alum, Bacon. I don't know if you knew that. She also won a state or national championship. So special shout out to her. In the grand scheme of things, Caitlin did uplift the sport. Can't wait to see what she's going to be able to do on the next level. Her pairing with Aaliyah Boston is going to be special, man. But ESPN, yes, ESPN, Fox, all the networks, they did a good job this year. Let's spread the love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin is one of one. But the game is in such a good spot, Bacon. We got to give everybody the love. I felt like, no disrespect, Caitlin had more love going into this national championship game than a team that was about to go undefeated first time, in years. You know what I'm saying?
That's why. That is because she was ready to be one of the greatest women's basketball players ever. She was cementing that legacy.
No doubt, 100% agree with you. But at the same time, we got to spread the love everywhere. I agree with you. You're 100% right. She's going to cement her status as the greatest ever. I don't disagree.
Ever.
Ever. But let's spread the love to everybody. Like this upcoming year, not just Paige Bookers. Let's get a little bit of Juju. Let's get a little bit of Tennessee. Let's get a little bit of Marshall. Their first ever time making the national tournament under their head coach, who is now the Tennessee coach. You know what I'm saying? Let's give a little bit of love back to UConn again. Let's give some love to South Florida teams, Indiana. Let's give some love to Stanford. All I'm saying is let's just spread the love as a totality. Obviously, again, Caitlin's one of one. But the game is in such a good place. The viewership is up. Let's continue to make the game great. And let's give some love to South Carolina, man. South Carolina. Hey, I don't care nobody say. They the blue blood right now, bro. Dawn Staley making history, becoming one of 5 coaches to win 3 national championships and the first black one to do it. Come on, bro. She's GOAT status, bro. And if you threw me in the room right now, Bacon, my last thought. You threw me in the room right now, Bacon, told me to pick out of those. Who would I choose between her and Kim Mulkey? I'm choosing Dawn Staley all day.
Easy.
Without a thought. Only other coach I give her is maybe Oriema, but she's in that category. Yeah, now you lost me. Now you lost me. Now you lost me. Now you lost me. Talking about some John Calipari. No, bro. No.
We still love Coach Cal over here, man. But definitely South Carolina getting. I mean, they're gonna get to just do Malaysia for a while. She made her presence on Slam. She made Slam today or yesterday. I can't remember. I'm saying that's a potential. Can we see the screen? Fellas? Yes or no?
Give a second. There you go.
Hot dog. That is good. You know what I'm saying? She made the Slam today. That so it potentially can make potentially one of those players who can make the cover. I was talking with my partner earlier on, man. I think last year or beginning of this year. He's like, man, nah, she ain't gonna make the Slam cover. I'm like, man, what you talking? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you know what I'm saying? When sex appeal is synonymous with women's sports for whatever reason, But when you got a polarizing star like Malaysia Wiley, who's, you know what I'm saying, who's creative going to the basket, you know what I'm saying, crafty, who's gonna let you know what I'm saying. She honestly, she got the look, man. She got the look. You know what I'm saying. I just know star talent when I see it. She got the look. Whenever she was coming, I was like, yeah, she's gonna be a star. But you know what I'm saying. So shout out to her for making the slam page, slam online website, and probably their news. I mean, their magazine. I had another point. It's done escaped my mind. But you know, big night for women's basketball. Having higher ratings than the men's basketball. The men is definitely electric. Oh yeah, so I don't know if y'all seen uh Diana Taurasi. She came out and made some
I was coming up.
some people. Yeah, man, made some comments about Caitlin Clark. I believe she said that it's easy, paraphrasing it, you know what I'm saying, it's easy to do this when you're doing it, not easy, but it's easier to perform at her level of performance against 18-year-old girls than it is to be playing against grown women who are competing for mortgages, who compete for much more than just NIL money, compete for survival, their well-being, their families. You know what I'm saying? And people came down on her thinking, she's being a hater. Nah, man, she's got the resume to prove that, being a 10-time first WNBA, first team WNBA, first team WNBA player. I think 3 or 4 second teams, multi-champion, multi-MVP award winner. So we got a resume like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You can say you know what it takes, and she's right. It's gonna be an adjustment period. You know what I'm saying? It could be 10 games in for, you know what I'm saying, Caitlin to really kind of find her footing. I mean, I think she's going to come in and definitely be an effective 3-point shooter. You can say make her go right all you want to, you know what I'm saying? There's high ball screens, there's motion, there's action. You got to deal with Aaliyah Boston, so she's going to have her moments where she can attack, but I don't see anything wrong with what she said. What you think, Nash?
I think what she said is correct, but I think a little bit of it is rooted in jealousy, though. She's 100% correct. I think she's 100% correct when she says it's going to be an adjustment period. She's right. You know, when you do it against 18-year-olds, it's a whole different ball game, right? And obviously, this is grown women. She's been playing for years, but you got to think too, Bacon. A little bit of it is rooted in that too, because you got to think about it. You got somebody that the media is all over. They're bringing it up every single day. You know what I'm saying? She's setting these records far as impact and people tuning into it, and a little bit can be a little bit rooted in that. Now, I'm not saying she's not going to struggle. Like, she's going to have to tighten up her handle a little bit. She's going to have to probably get a little bit bigger to deal with a little bit of that. And she's probably going to get, I hate to say it, Bacon, it's truthful. She's probably going to get a lot of trash talk. She's probably going to get a lot of girls that's going to want to be aggressive with her coming in, because they're going to be like, oh, you think you're this hot shot? Nah, you know what I'm saying? It's different. But I think she's going to be just fine. At the same time, you got to think too, obviously she's an all-time great, Hall of Famer, Diana Taurasi. But let's think about this too, bro.
Potential GOAT.
Potential GOAT. Let's think about this too, though. You got a lot of exposure too coming into the league. Okay, maybe not to the degree that Caitlin is, but a lot of people were high on you too. Okay, no veterans was making that comment when you came into the league. That's all I'm saying, bro. And at the same time, if you have a talent like this coming in and that's going to impact viewership, I think we talked about it last week. You know that they're moving the game. They got against the Aces to a whole new gym. There's 20,000 more people. This is going to bring more money in and enhance, making you more money. Taurasi, you're only making about 200,000. You could potentially get into the $1 million range with Clark, with all the sponsorships, the viewership, more TV deals coming in. Come on, like at the same time, like let's think about what this could potentially mean for the sport itself. I get it. She's right. I'm not saying she's wrong, but I think a little bit of it is rooted in a little bit of jealousy and her getting a lot of love right now.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not sure if it's about just like I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is going to bring a lot of money, but when you have the resume that she has and we're done not only in professionals in college, she's three-time national champion, three-time national champion. I feel what you're saying, brother. Because like when she was coming into the league, I'm sure it was women like, man, you know what I'm saying? She got to do it against us. That's just how it is.
They weren't public about it. They didn't make the comments she made.
Different times we're in now. You know what I'm saying? People aren't, you know what I'm saying, the media attention to players is not as easily accessible. They want document players' lives like they are now. But yeah, I feel what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's wrong. There is an adjustment. She's gonna have to adjust to it, but at the same time, come on, bro. You got somebody that's coming in setting all these records, getting all this media attention. You tell me you're not gonna feel a little ounce? Come on, bro. Got to be real at the same time, bro.
That's true. That's true. But what I'm saying, we'll segue into a next topic. Is this one? This isn't on the list. But I was at the I was at the Atlanta Dream. They did an event with Xbox this past Saturday on Friday. I think it's Friday and Saturday. But I was talking with this lady. I should have got her title. I should remember her title. I believe her last name is Rose, if I'm not mistaken. But she was telling me that what the college in the top NIL earners in college, their salaries will translate over to the WNBA through brand deals, brand partnerships, or whatever they have in college is going to transfer over. So that's going to be big moving forward for just salaries on the rise. And like you said, that extra 20K when they play the Aces. So things are definitely on the uptrend, but I want to put that out there and clarify that because there's a lot going on. A lot of people saying, well, I'm saying they're going to make a lot more money in college if they stay. Why are they just so eager to go to the league? Because the money is carrying over, and it's bigger. It's bigger than basketball right now. It's way more than just me playing basketball in college, getting that money on. It's about breaking bread with my sisters. You dig? So let me see what we got next. You want to add anything to that, fellas, before I just move on? I just want to throw it out there. All right. We got thoughts on Edie. We kind of already talked about that.
I want to real quick.
Go ahead, brother. Yep.
Don Stanley legacy, but
can we change the graphic too? Y'all don't mind real quick? Sorry, Jerome.
Sorry. My bad. That's on
go
me.
ahead.
But yeah, I just want to say shout out to her, big legacy. But obviously, Philly legend. So you know how to shout that out. Philly legend. Reps the Eagles, huge Eagles fan. So shout out to her. I think that's awesome. Somebody from Philly making it out and doing some big things. You know what I mean? That always, I don't think there's a lot of Philly representation out there. So when they do go out there, it's awesome. And it's awesome. So shout out to her. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Yeah. Thanks. Shout out to Wallow. Shout out to Gilly. You know what I'm saying? Triple salute to the $1 million worth of game out there. I should. We all seen the sign, right? They got her where she's from. They got her
they got
her Nike banner.
Yeah,
man, that gave me the chills when I seen that, man. Y'all was looking ahead at college basketball 2024. You know what I'm saying? It's on the right. We talk about the hot topic. Chip was a Pig Suey, Chop Suey, man. Got to start with Coach Kyle and the gang.
Got to.
I guess I'll start. I'll come out here and defend this John Calipari slander. It's a lot of people that's going on the record talking about, oh man, Kyle had Karl Anthony Towns, Kyle had Tyler Hero, Emmanuel Quickly. The brother out there in Philly right now, Tyrese Maxey, all this.
Devin Booker.
Now they should have won.
DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall,
Shai Gilgeous. Shai Gilgeous. The list is long, but we got to look at this in perspective. When they had who when they lost at UConn, I can't remember who they had, but the main point is when they had Emmanuel Quickly, when they had Tyrese Maxey, that was the COVID year. We got to scratch that. Moving on to the Devin Booker, I brought up on this show numerous times. We're in the Final Four. You can't miss a shot clock violation that late in the game. That changes things. You call it excuses, but these are facts. These are facts. You can pull this up on YouTube right now. It's gonna be in slow motion for you. I can't remember. James Young was on that team. That team. John Calipari and the Kentucky Wildcats, they upset a Wichita State team that was undefeated. They beat that team. They did lose to UConn in the national championship, but UConn, they're the Jordan of college basketball. They're 6-0 in national championship. They're undefeated. And people are talking about that Kyle he's run away from Kentucky. That's for him to say. I watched this thing earlier. I can't remember verbatim. That's on him to say. I'm only speaking as a staunch, loyal fan of Calipari who's watching these cats religiously. I used to watch every game that came on TV as a youngster. If not, I watched the highlights and listened to the interviews. So I'm very credible and know what I'm talking about, brother. But the move to Arkansas, it's just a reset. Just to reset. Of course, I hate to see it go. You know what I'm saying? Definitely seeing Calipari and that Crimson Red is gonna be a little I'm gonna get myself together. But it's gonna be different. But I think Coach Cal's gonna bring those I think he's gonna bring the same recruits to Arkansas. He's a players coach. He is one of the few, the only one to advocate coaching one and done players, which is another thing, man. You bring in a different group every year. That's tough. That's tough to get everybody to buy in, playing grown men, senior led men every year. I'm not gonna say that's not an excuse. Of course, I will come on the record and say he did underachieve towards the later years in Kentucky. But that first run where he was getting in what 30 plus win seasons, you know what I'm saying, 3 or 4 Final Four appearances, Brandon Knight. I can go on. The list goes on and on. Just how many memorable Kentucky moments has been across his tenure. But that's all I'll say, man. Coach Cal, you know what I'm saying? If you see this, because you one day you're gonna see this, brother. Keep doing your thing, coach. We respect you. We all know what you've done, you know what I'm saying? The doors you've opened, the lives you've changed by, hey man, don't cut back. You got mouths to feed. You came here to do this. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna change your family's life. Why come back, get hurt, and mess with the bag for yourself. So being a players coach, being a pioneer in the one and done era, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure the Kentucky fans and the players will for always be forever indebted to the man's contribution.
Man, Bacon, you sound like me when the Eagles fell apart this year. We had no answers.
I'm
We
just
had
keeping
no
it a
real
buck.
answers. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No, and that's the thing. Like, what is the real answer? Like, why did this come to this though? You know, you build such a density at one location. Why did it come to this? And that's my thing. I'm not hearing any answers. It's just like, hey, it happened. It just came out of nowhere. Like, it was just like so random.
Yeah.
I'm not in the basketball realm as much as you guys, but for me, that literally came out of the blue. It came out of nowhere. And then,
Yeah.
and credit to him because obviously he was walking his dog. He wanted his piece. But like they asked him, it was like, yo, why did you? He's just like, I don't want to answer right now. I'm walking my dog, which he has the right to do so. But we all ask him, what the f happened? I don't know what happened. Like y'all can answer it to me for me. I don't know, but even from your little spill right there, Bacon, it's still not an answer. Like what? How did it get to this point?
I'm sure it got some pressure from I'm sure it gives maybe some pressure for some upper, you know what I'm saying, people in the community, like some politicians or whatever, some brass like, man, kind of like, man. And then of course he's gonna get the bag. Bill Self was getting like 9 million, he was getting 8. I'm sure he's probably gonna get anywhere between 11 to 12 mil to go coach, to be the highest paid coach in college basketball, which he deserves, you know what I'm saying? Like not everybody's bringing in that type of recruiting class. And the second thing, you know what I'm saying, that's big for him, his tenure at Kentucky, the revenue that he's brought consistently to that state. It's bigger than just Lake. I mean, of course you can say, you got Louisville down the street, but you know what I'm saying, Kentucky was the biggest brand in that state for a long time. But the revenue that he brings to the city, bringing in those big name recruits, starting with John Wall, you know what I'm saying, the lottery picks he's brought through there. People want to come pay and see that. Will Kentucky continue to do that at that rate? It remains to be seen. So, but so sometimes you gotta set the deal with the bad. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck. Yeah. He did his thing, man.
At the end of the Eagles season, we all Eagles fans like, I have no idea what happened at the end of the season. We were all trying to figure out ourselves. We sound like like that. We was kind of like, hey, this might have been happening, but no real answers. So that's why I'm just like, man, like I didn't get any answers. What's your take on this, Naj?
Yeah, my take is it depends how you look at the totality of the whole thing. With Calipari, right, in terms of his success, right? What are you really evaluating? Are you evaluating development? If you evaluate development, he was a success. Look at all the first round draft picks, lottery picks, potential future Hall of Famers he produced that went on to the NBA and had success, right? The MVPs that he produced and all that, right? So you look in terms of development success, right? When you look in terms of as Bacon, I use one of his points in revenue and bringing kind of college basketball being on the forefront, putting it on the pedestal, getting it out there, having must-see basketball, must-see TV, success, right? But then when you look at the latter half of his coaching career, I would say disappointment, close to failure, because his last regional final was 2018, 2019. But as Bacon said, the early onslaught of his career with Kentucky, he was right in that conversation. It was making Final Fours, is winning national championships. But if you look at the modern era of what coaches have been doing, the most successful programs you talked about earlier has been UConn. They got 6. That's double Kentucky. That's double North Carolina, and that's double Duke. So they've been the most successful program. And Coach Hurley can make the argument right now that he's the better coach than Calipari. He has 2 rings. He has 1 so far. He won one obviously with UMass, but right now I'm gonna take Coach Hurley over Calipari. But
as a coach,
as a coach. But sometimes when you look at different things, right, Jerome, all kind of depends, kind of just perspective, right? And I think sometimes when you're in one place for so long, it gets stagnant. Let's throw an NFL reference in there. Brady was so successful, right, with the New England Patriots, right? Won 6 rings, right? Still thought he should have been a starter. New England wanted to move on. Bill Belichick wanted to move on. He goes to a new place, wins the ring the first time there. So maybe we could see that with Calipari. It could take time. He got more NIL funding, probably about $5 million in his pocket. And now the big thing, the question for him, Bacon, can he adjust, right? Because he can rewrite the history. The history right now is like he's a great coach, but he hasn't been winning lately. He can rewrite that history with winning some more championships, bringing a championship to Fayetteville, Arkansas, right? Getting back into that conversation. But Calipari now has to adapt. 15 years of Kentucky. Now it's time to go get some guys in the portal, go get some top-end recruits, and combine it to have a formidable team, not losing to non-name teams like Oakland this year, losing to a FIU or whatever may be the case. So now he has time to rewrite it and cement himself as a legendary coach. Let's see if he does it. But in terms of what you look at, development, success, revenue, success, but towards the latter end of his coaching career, I would say disappointment to failure.
It takes a little luck. That's all I'm saying. It takes a little luck. Big suey, type suey, whatever it is. I'll definitely have it down packed by basketball season. Coach, UConn coach. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Are you still in Kentucky fan then?
Of course I'll be supporting the brothers from afar. I'll always be a wildcat in here. That however long this Coach Cal's tenure was, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, man, you know what I'm saying? Before Coach Cal got there with John Wall, I never really watched college basketball like that. Captivating a young man at the age of however old I was, middle school, to a grown man now, you know what I'm saying? That lets you know all you need to know about that magical run. But I'm a Arkansas Razorback basketball fan. Of course, I support a lot of teams. I ride for Georgia Tech, so of course I'm a Yellow Jacket fan as well. I ride for the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks really have my heart right now, but they're just above Coach Cal and the Razorbacks right now. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be interesting to see if they get those original Kentucky commits. If they get those original Kentucky commits over there in Arkansas, I'll set my teeth. But will UConn's head coach? Go ahead. What'd you say, bro?
I don't want to ever hear y'all talk about me and my teams ever again after what you just said.
Hey, I'm loyal. I'm loyal. Don't matter what happens.
I'm sticking with Cal, man. He brought me into college basketball. I got to ride with him.
See my background. I'm loyal to a fault.
I'm an Atlanta fan, man. You know what I'm saying? I really had never really had any good foundation.
And you know what? That tells us all we need to know. You saying that?
Right. Thank you.
I'm not afraid to let, you know what I'm saying, put my emotions on my sleeve, put my heart on my sleeve.
There you go.
Well, before we wrap up, man, there's been some talk that Kentucky may throw the bag at UConn's head coach. Do you think he leaves, and should he leave? My early prediction is I don't think he should leave. Now, if the money is good for you, man, and UConn can't match, like I said, they've done it with different coaches. Kevin Ollie won one. This brother now has won 2. But Kentucky's definitely gonna throw that bag at him. So, but I don't think you should leave. Keep building what you're building. UConn's got first class facilities, but what I'm saying, definitely on him and his family.
Yeah, I'd say real quick, keep a good thing going, man. You got some good momentum going. Keep recruiting at a high level. You built something special there in Connecticut, and like I said, you built the best modern team in the last 25 years. So why stop now? Obviously, Kentucky seems enticing, but I'll use what Stephen A. said. Kentucky is not as enticing as it once was.
Yes, that is a fact. Let's see.
And real quick before we wrap up, I do want to talk real quick about looking ahead. Man, next year, I just want to say this point and we can conclude. College basketball is going to be so much fun next year. I know everybody's saying the star power is not great. Paul Pierce even had a quote that said, man, I could get in this draft and go number 1 overall just with the lack of star talent and power.
Oh, wow.
But I do think next year is going to be off the chain. You could potentially have a villain. I know you're going to know this well. You should follow this storyline next year, Jerome, if you're trying to get more into hoops. Cooper Flag coming in as Duke. They're already kind of pegging him as that potential villain. And I feel like I heard a great point today on my day show. I really think we have not had that in college basketball in a long time, right? The last one, most recent, had to be Grayson Allen, who's now in the league. We have not had a villain
shooting 40%, by the way.
Come in. Who?
I think he's shooting over 40% from 3-point line, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
45%.
See, and I think he's gonna be that for Duke, man. And I think Duke is gonna be excited. Everybody they brought in, all those 5-star talents, and on top of that, obviously had some guys hit the transfer portal. But then Isaiah Evans, nobody's talking about him or what he's gonna be. That dude's a dog, bro. I'm telling you, coming in, y'all just wait, bro. He gonna put a lot of people on notice. Then you throw Ace Bailey with Rutgers and Dylan Harper, prototypical villain. Alabama, they're gonna continue to build with Nas Cunningham, Aiden Sherrill, Darion Reed, Auburn with Ja'Kai Howard, and the talent they're gonna bring back. Obviously, they're gonna lose Johnson, who's obviously gone. I think college basketball is going to be so exciting next year. Got to see what happens with Bronny as well, who entered the transfer portal. But I think college basketball is going to be so enticing to watch next year. I think it's going to be marquee and one of the best years we've had in college basketball in a long time.
Facts. Pig suey, chop suey. That's all I got to say.
This guy.
But you know what I'm saying, we'll definitely move on to wrap up topics. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be in Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to be at the Under Armour camp in Nashville. So if you're watching, your young man is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely let us know in our DMs, or you know what I'm saying, when you see us, you'll probably be the only trio looking like this together that's going to be out there, up that way together as a unit. So it won't be hard to point out. But so definitely come holler at us, man. If we get you any exposure, be of service to you, definitely let us know. Hit us in DM early if you want some personal content while we're out there. But yeah, that's where we're at, man. And we're definitely gonna. I haven't even told the boys, so this is kind of sporadic. But we're gonna try to give y'all a live update afterwards. We'll probably go to a little coffee shop or something, give y'all a live feed. So expect 2 podcasts this week. Fingers crossed. We'll see what the logistics look like. I'm saying, so stay tuned for that. And moving on, unless y'all have anything to add on, we can move on to the words to wisdom.
No, I'm excited about going to Nashville. It'll be my first time in Nashville. Like I said, I'm not from down here, so my first time in Nashville. I'm excited about it. I heard a lot of great stuff about Nashville. I heard they do have some talent over there that's not discovered enough. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what Nashville has to offer, man. And we went to the UA camp in Atlanta. It was a great time, great vibes. Got a lot of good content out of there. So I expect the same.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have a busy couple of weeks, man. Y'all keep it locked. All these boys gonna have some great content. Y'all go subscribe to their pages. I hope they listening to me. Hope Bacon and obviously Jerome continue to grow y'all YouTube handles. Been watching Bacon content. It's been really good. Jerome, I'm telling you, bro, get them shorts from that camp, bro, and upload them, bro. It's gonna do a lot. It's gonna build your fan base up. I know you got it on Twitter. I know you about at 10K. But get it on YouTube, man. Open you up another stream of revenue, my guy. So just want to throw that out at you. You're very good dude. I just want to see your platform continue to take off, man. So I did want to say that. But actually, your boy's gonna be there. Bacon for Georgia Tech. I know you did an article, a little piece on him. Aiden Kane got invited. Hot 2026. Yep. He got invited. I don't know if he's gonna go, but he got invited to the camp as well. I wanted to tell you that. So that could be a nice little piece you could write about for him as well, especially if he wins potentially maybe MVP.
Most definitely, and you know what I'm saying we're definitely gonna start segueing into our Patreon content, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna talk about just being journalists, what it's like our daily walk. There's not a lot of content out there to kind of help you, show you step by step. So if you want to do that, stay tuned to our Patreon. You know what I'm saying it's gonna be a little $5, $7, $10 to kind of get the game, but it definitely will be well worth it. We will be providing y'all with a lot of high level, high value content that you can take with you to your not only to your resume, to on job and further on your career. So definitely tap to Patreon. Stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, we're going to segue into the words of wisdom. Since I'm running my mouth, I'll run it wide up with the wisdom. Just just sometimes you gotta step back and not only just look at what you're doing, but look at what stay basically just stay tuned on what's going on and stay in tune with the world, but most importantly, stay tuned with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you can just hop on a trend, just fling the blend in with the trend. You really want to sit back, study what's going on, study the trends, and see how you can infiltrate it and make it your own. So that's my words of wisdom.
Go ahead, Rome.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, get your ducks in order, man. Get your line, the line, man. You can't expect to proceed sitting on your hands. You have to go out there. You have to, pursue it. You got to go out there and, put yourself out there. I think I said this before. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to be able to, when there's something that you can possibly get, and you got that sight out there, you got to put yourself out there. You can't just sit there and hope that comes to you, because this world is not going to just come to you. You got to put yourself out there. So whatever you love or whatever you're doing, do that, but put yourself out there. Try new things, risk things, test things out. You gotta do different things sometimes, because doing the same thing all the time will not get you where you want to be. You gotta try different things. So get your ducks in order. Put yourself out there and be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick with mine. Bacon obviously talked about study trends. I'm gonna say study people, right? A lot of things you can learn is from people at the top in your industry. Successful people, kind of, mirroring some things that they're doing, watching, how they present themselves, their daily habits. Sometimes you can pick and glean from them things and add to your own repertoire, your own kind of regimen. We had a guy on last week, one that's really popular in the game right now, 0-3, Duke the Scoop, Philip Dukes, right? I don't say this lightly. Like, I really take a lot, just not take a lot from him, but I really just admire like what he's been doing in the industry and how quickly he did it. So for me, I study a lot of what he does, not taking what he does and adding it to mine, more so like, okay, this is kind of how he presents himself. This is kind of how, he goes through the walks. And I think, man, when you study great people, you're going to be great. So I think for me, find some people in the industry that are doing big things. Obviously, us, not a lot of us are in the industry, African Americans, but I think find somebody that resembles you or that, kind of you feel comfortable, relatable with, follow them, and you never know what you could become. So I think for me, it's grinding, going hard, and then finding people. Another one I'll throw out real quick, Jeremy Johnson. We had a conversation off air. Shout out Jeremy. Yeah, shout out Jeremy. We had a conversation off air. I'm not going to bring that up. But what I will say, bro, you're very respected in the game. There's so many kids I've talked to that just bring your name up. So it's guys like that and how he presents himself and how he gets the most out of these kids and how he, writes his articles. Guys like that, if you learn from them kind of guys and they willing to peel off a little bit of toolage and knowledge of the game to you, be open-minded. So much of our world today is not open-minded. We're so closed-minded, our way only. Learn from the greats so you can also be great. And just have your own spill on it. Don't copy nobody. Don't carbon copy. But take little bits and pieces and add it to your repertoire, and you'll see what the results will be.
Sir. All right, who's closing?
You already said George Bush? He did already say it. I'm sorry. I guess we got to talk about the real last thing. I promise. We didn't talk about the J. Cole thing. I want to kind of get y'all.
Oh yeah.
I think far as rap, it looked bad. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people say his career is over. Far as after he did that, Brandon Jennings said it. Suge Knight said he was weak move. Paraphrasing. I think it just, Cole is older, bro. Y'all got to realize too. He's always admired Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? And I think the person in him and wanting to make sure his soul is purified, he just didn't feel comfortable doing that. And I think it takes a lot of maturity for a man to do that and to admit that. And some people gonna call it a B move. If you don't know what that is, just look it up. A B move for him doing that. But I just think he valued his mental health. Yeah, plan B move. A lot of people, go say that, but the rap fan in me wanted it to keep going because I thought it would have just been entertaining. I don't think it would have never got to no point like, oh, we finna do this. No, Tupac and Biggie were lives got to be lost. I don't think it was ever gonna get to that point. But I think right now, why it sucked as a rap fan, we have been missing this, bro. Like rap, I tell Bacon all the time, the game is not the same, bro. The type of music that is produced is not the same. It's trash. Like I can't even listen to it. I've entered. It's trash, bro. I've entered a whole new. I'm telling you, bro. You can go talk to most people. It's trash, bro. I've entered in a new genre. Like I'm listening to totally different music. I'll listen every now and again if it's something cool, but it don't resonate how it used to, bro. It just don't.
Still got the youth, man.
It just yeah. That's the youth. That's their music, right? But compared to what we grew up on, it's different, bro. So I think a lot of fans just wanted to see it because we know they're viewed as kind of like the GOATs in the industry. They're viewed as the top of this generation, the Drakes, the Kendricks, the J. Coles, and they kind of wanted to see that keep going because right now, I throw it to you, Bacon. What else is entertaining in the game right now?
Oh, you still got don't get it misconstrued. Drake is definitely gonna follow through with this, and Kendrick's gonna come back. And then, what I'm saying, I think Future's kind of in this a little bit, but the Drake and Kendrick thing, I think we'll get a little play. So we definitely still have some things to watch.
Mm-hmm. No, but still, you didn't address my. What's the most entertaining thing right now? Can you address that?
Drake and Kendrick in music.
No. Forget them for a second. I'm talking about them? Besides that. What else is entertaining besides get it sexy? Like, come on, bro. What else is entertaining in the game right now? Tell me, please enlighten me, bro.
The Future album is tearing up the streets right now. What you got going on? I'm not tapped in as much music. I got my list. I got my music right now. I'm listening to a lot of Bob, a lot of J. Cole, a lot of Sade. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying, the age I once was. You know what I'm saying, I feel like as you grow older, you kind of, it's just natural. But you know what I'm saying, you got the Future album right now.
He's proving my point. Is he not proving my point?
We'll just prove the point that we're older in the game. I'm sure if we're 16, 17, we'll have a whole different spin and perspective on the music right now.
Hey, Jerome, I'm gonna let you answer. Didn't he not just prove my point by saying like the game is different and how the rap is not the same? Because he said he listens to Bob Marley, J. Cole. That tells you it's different.
I do listen to Big Extra Plug, recent artists that come out of Houston, Texas. I don't listen to Boss Man D-Lo too tough, but he's got some songs. And there's always somebody young coming out of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So it's music. Music's music.
Go ahead, Jerome.
No, I will. I wholeheartedly agree with Naj. I think that. Don't get me wrong. That boss man, he's terrible.
See, Jerome know about him.
So garbage.
He said he's terrible.
He's the hottest thing for the new kids right now, but he's so bad. I don't understand how you can listen to him and not laugh. But obviously, I listen to a lot of newer music. I listen to a lot of newer music because obviously I do highlights and stuff like that. So I do listen to a lot of stuff. But think about it. And you can see it on all highlights and stuff. This is my thing. When you see a highlight and you see the same song on every freaking highlight, you know something is moving. You know it. And that Kendrick line made that song so popular. I don't care who the new person was, they was not reaching that same height that Kendrick did once he hit that. Even first person shooter move, like that song was so popular. Those two songs were so popular. Like there's no other song out there that's doing that. So with those two artists, you wanted that to continue. So I understand why everybody's frustrated about it, but I respect Cole for it. You know what I mean? Like that's his first of all, that's his personality. Second of all, him and K Dot, they were tight at one point, and it kind of fell off because they kind of it's competition. We all, I think we all play sports here. We understand competition. You got a guy that you're competing against. You got this receiver right behind you or right next to you. Y'all competing. It's a respectful competition, but at the same time, you wanna be the number one guy. And I know how Kendrick is. He's gonna take it to heart and be like, "No, I'm that dude." You know what I mean? And they're just gonna go back and forth. But I just know that like not said, they're older guys. They're not old, but they're older guys. Older in
Yeah.
terms, and they're that's how Cole just has been. He talked about the "Love Yours" song. That's just how his spirit is. And I knew something was wrong, like something was off when he made that diss track, and it just didn't sound right. It just did.
Yeah.
He sounded like he just tried to take the Kendrick road, which is not really J. Cole's his still. You know what I mean? And Kendrick, shout out to Kendrick. He's a goat too, and I love both of them. I love listening to all their stuff. I listen to their older stuff all the time. But I just think that to sit there and say, "Oh, he's corny," and it's the end of his career, this and that, that's crazy. I just think it's just the right now frustration of, hey, we wanted that to happen. Because I guess I think at the end of the day, all of us kind of wanted that. It was two very hot songs that went out, and both of them had I keep trying to call it subtweeting, but the sub lyrics, whatever you want to call it.
It's a good search. Good
They both
job.
had that in there, and everybody was like, "Ooh!" And it was like the hottest thing for like the last 3 months, 2 months, something like that. So when Kendrick, Cole kind of went out and was like, you know what, it didn't sit well with me. I get it, I get why everybody's frustrated, and I also get him. Like you can hear it in that song, like it was his best stuff. Like I think the track was hot and everything like that, but Kendrick was coming for blood, and
Man.
J. Cole was just like responding. You could tell. And I like the track, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like that beast kind of thing. And then when he came out, it was like, yeah, that makes sense. So shout out to him, respect to him for doing that, because he could have just did it just for the money, just for the cloud, just trying to blah blah blah. But that's the one thing I hate about music artists. If you're not in it, if you're not feeling it, if you're not putting your passion into it, why do it? Because now you're just talking at this point. It's not like what I mean. It's so many artists that out there, like early in their careers, you're like, ooh, they're hot, and then all of a sudden they start getting bigger and bigger, and they start falling off because they lose that passion. And I think rap is such a passionate. We don't really say this out loud, but rap is a passionate genre. You know what I mean? Like when you hear it and you heard how Kendrick came off, he was like, bam, bam, bam in that song. You know what I mean? Rap is such a passionate art. When you bring passion behind that, it just comes stronger. And I think everybody was expecting that from J. Cole, and I just not him. So yeah, that's my take on that. I respect them. I understand why people are mad about it, but at the same time, it's just like, come on, man, you gotta know J. Cole at this point.
Got to, man. Got to. Yeah, definitely the line about him and his career being over is wild. If Cole makes his beats, I believe he produces his own beats. I don't think he might not do it as much, but he has the capability. And Cole has a studio, he can get on the track and puts out a song. People will listen. Y'all have heard the new project, the little EP kind of EP / early album? All right, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's solid. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's your favorite song off the top three, early top three?
I can't remember the track names, but I think it was like the third or fourth song on the album. Forgot the name of
I
it.
think that's 3001.
Maybe I can't remember the names right now. It's still kind of fresh for me, and I just don't remember. Yeah. I don't even remember players' names, let alone album names. So,
right, you got. I like Fever. That's my vibe. She's giving me fever. Come on now.
okay.
I like 3001. I like Pi. Pi is probably my favorite one. Of course, Crocodile Tears and Hunting Wabbits. Hunting Wabbits.
That's a good one.
Be quiet. I'm hunting
that was funny.
Yeah. For sure. What about you, Nas?
Yeah, I gotta go back and listen to it some more to say favorite songs. To be real with you, I only listen to like once or twice. I usually like to listen to an album about 5-6 times before I start saying which ones I like.
Yeah. Okay.
Facts. Nah, for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll conclude, man. This has been one of a kind, legendary day. We had on Braylen Everheart, top DB, one of the top DBs in class of 2031. Brother goes to Gainesville Middle School and will be en route to Gainesville High School, man. So stay tuned to the football in North Georgia. It's gonna be action packed, man. So you can follow him, I believe at Braylen, Braylen, Everheart, and Heart, just like what's inside, Heart. If you type that in, he will come up because you will see the hair and the short man with stature that's putting his hand in the chest of millions of other football players around the country. So definitely tap into him. But legendary show. These are my brothers. These are my co-hosts, Najee Wilkins, Jerome Jones of Inside the Hashes. As you can see, ITH CEO, and I'm Marvin Bacon of Bacon Network. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, it's Just As the News. And this is the First and Foremost podcast where we only give you the spiel.
Spill. We keep it real.
Yes, sir. Live every Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you on the next time. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? All of that, man. If you want to donate, definitely donate to the cause. Yeah.
Woo! I'm not sure what that is, but thank you guys for being on with us. See you on the next one.
Screenshot that or something, man. Yeah, the end of the show. But thank you.
Okay.